But yeah, so that does it for that. The first official mailbag question that we have done here on Hoop Theory. And so then we'll wrap up with one more and then we'll get out of here. And that is from Big Max.
Heck yeah.
With it's spelled M-A-C-Z. So it's, how good would Stromile Swift be in today's game? I personally think he would be miles better and maybe even a top 100 player. He was pretty good at rim running and drawing contact, and I think that would translate well in the game today. Other players I think would also be pretty good are Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, Al Harrington, and Sidney Moncrief. What's your take on this?
Okay, I don't hate any of these actually.
Yeah.
I think that he is a Derrick Jones Jr.
Stromile Swift.
Yeah, as a top, I just think he's about that.
Yeah.
That range, I don't think he'd be anything nuts. Honestly, I think he'd probably be comparable to what he did ever. His best season, he averaged 10 points. This is guessing. I have no idea. I don't know how many points it was exactly, but
yeah, that
in
sounds
that
right.
ballpark, that's got to be about right.
Yeah.
So I don't think that he's any better.
Really?
I do think that.
I mean, I kind of see what he's saying about he could be more of a modern pick and roll partner. Like it's just more of a.
Yeah, because he has the. Does he have any 3-point at all?
Looks like he did not at all. On his career, averaged 7.4% from three.
Oh, he also attempted almost none.
He attempted 27 on his career. 2 for 27 on his career from the 3-point line.
So that's a hard. I don't think he's gonna work because I get that that's not on a volume amount.
And yeah, who knows? Those are probably all heaves. There's not real shots.
But it's not like he played in the 80s where no one shot threes.
He played at a time that it was very, very normal for a big man to not ever look at the rim while he was behind the 3-point line. You know what I mean? That's still DeAndre Jordan is one of those players. He's not going to look at you think that DeAndre Jordan is going to even pump fake from behind the 3-point arc? That would be a sight to behold. Even a pump fake.
He's the crazy dunker guy, right? I'm remembering people right. He's got some just nasty
Swift?
Dunks.
Yeah. I thought you were talking about DeAndre Jordan for a second. I was like,
I am aware that DeAndre Jordan is the dunk guy.
Yeah. No, Stromile Swift is, he's a high flyer for sure. But yeah, I don't mind that one, to be honest. I wonder if he might be from somewhere that our Big Max, our questioner, is from or something. I'm not sure why he has this kind of connection with Stromile Swift, but I do feel like there is something there, to be honest. In an era that just has a lot more space for him to thrive in, could have been something more, for sure. I don't know about a top 100 player. That's a pretty lofty standard range.
Yeah, we need to build a top 100 together and then release it slowly. But I think people will be shocked who number 100 is. You'll be like, that's a pretty good player.
We're talking about all time, right? I think that's what he means.
No, I thought he was talking about in the NBA now.
Oh, then never mind. I think he could be a top 100 player in the league for sure. During the time that he would be playing in certain years, he could be hovering around I mean, in order to achieve that, you have to be
this feels like a pretty safe take.
Yeah, the third best player on your team.
Yeah.
You don't think he could have done that?
No, I'm not saying I don't think he could. I'm just saying that I feel
it's just surefire. Yeah, it's not
I feel like the more and more I think about this, I think this is an extraordinarily safe take.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not a bad take. It's just safe.
Unless he means a top 100 player of all time, which is what I thought he was saying. Because if that's not what he's saying, and he's saying just a player in the league, then that's not even that much higher than he was at his very best. It's he's a little bit. He's probably a top 200 or 150 at his very best.
Yeah, if he's top 100 of all time,
that would be wild.
That can't be what he meant.
It'd be like Amari Stoudemire,
That's pretty good.
I know that, but that's what I'm saying. Maybe that's how good he thinks that he could be. Who knows? Stromile Swift's number one fan might think that about him.
I love the video of Abdul-Rauf. I love that poll.
Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. Yeah, for sure. I think that is one of the best examples of a historical guy that is meant for this era rather than the era he played in, for sure. I think he would be blazing the nets. Not the nets like the Brooklyn Nets, but the nets on the hoop from making the ball go through it.
A bunch of times.
Which is the objective of the game.
And that's what he did better than almost anyone.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Especially off the dribble from three. He was doing crazy Dame stuff before, not that deep, but he was doing stuff that looks wow, that's something Dame would do. But back in a time that nobody did that because there wasn't a Dame.
I've got a buddy that's a Nuggets fan, and he's it's not really a buddy because he's older than me and remembers. He goes, that was a dark time in the Nuggets history, and that was our one bright spot, was just
for
him doing that.
And then Al Harrington is another guy he listed here. Kind of similar reasonings, I'm guessing, to the Stromile Swift, other than Al Harrington's probably a little bit less of like the freak athlete and more of like the hustle, dirty work guy. At least that's how I remember him from my youth, watching him on the Mellow Nuggets era team. And so I don't mind that one. I mean, he maybe, I don't know if he's necessarily better suited for this era, but maybe because of his size though. Like in this era, he could be like a very versatile small ball five that's like not very small for a small ball five modern day. Like
but he can move like that. Like he
he can defend across positions a little bit. So maybe he would have a little bit more of a home here instead of being what he was considered back then was like actually a slightly undersized four. Nowadays he'd be like oversized four to slightly undersized center,
which is like what teams like almost want to have as like a gadget guy.
Exactly. So I don't mind that one. And then the last one was Sidney Moncrief, who's just, I think he's in the Hall of Fame, isn't he?
If he's not, I would be shocked.
If he's not, then he'd be close. I guess I'll put it that way. Yes, he is a Hall of Famer, 5-time All-Star.
Is he a top 100?
He'd be close to that.
So I don't know. I guess his argument would be he would fit in better in today's NBA than the era he played, maybe?
Yeah, he's saying other players I think would also be pretty good, but I think that is what he's trying to say. So maybe he's meant for this era even more. That's probably the one I will say, though, that fits pretty perfectly in the era he was in as well, being just a really good defensive guard.
Yeah. Because, like, what would he be in today's NBA?
Like a Drew Holiday plus?
Yeah.
Probably. Not necessarily plus on the defensive side, but being more of a star on the offensive end.
Yeah.
So like Drew Holiday at his peak and just add a little bit more of the offensive side. That's probably like a top 3 guard in the league, you know, which he was back in his era too. So it's like, it's probably around the same. Like, I feel like that type of player kind of fits in any era.
Yeah, that's like the defense travels, not only miles, but through time.
Yeah.
Make that a t-shirt. Defense travels mile, or because like they say like defense always travels on the road.
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah.
know? Defense travels not only in miles, but also through time.
No, I like it.
I think Bill Russell would probably find a way to make it work in this NBA as a defensive player. Probably.
Obviously. Was that a joke?
Yes. I was just saying that, like, that Hall of Fame guy that played good defense, he could probably find a place.
No, I mean, he would be like Jared Vanderbilt times 10, probably.